are the best and worst companies in Q1 of 2024, and how can it help us to determine what to buy and what to let go of for the rest of this year? And also, what is the surprise loser so far this year? Let's go ahead and break it down. All right, Q1 is over. Let's, see who won so far, who could continue winning the rest of this year. Also, I'm still a bit under the weather, so it might still play out in my voice, and just it's a lot of nasal stuff happening, okay? But first, let's go with the winners. Some of these I did tell y'all about. Nvidia, I think we all know about that one. They're up 82% in just a quarter. Still on fire, still crazy. I don't know what to tell you about the company now. I don't know. I don't know how it's gotten this high outside of the AI hype, but man, it is still doing quite well. Next here is Constellation Energy Group. CEG is a stock symbol there. They're up 58%. I bought the company. I told y'all when I bought the company. I told our members when I bought the company. I don't know what else to tell you. Okay? I don't know what else to tell you other than the fact that I told you. So, there you go. I be telling y'all. This is why you want to like. This is why you want to subscribe. If somebody right now watching, and they be watching, and they never subscribe, this is your chance to do so. Okay? Talking to you. All right. Next here is Meta. Meta's up 40% in the first quarter. I have a mixed relationship with Meta. So I had bought it, and it was one of the stocks I had held in my portfolio for the longest. I ended up selling it in 2022. It started to really fall off. I was concerned about the Apple issues. We'll talk about Apple here in a sec. But I didn't see them as an essential piece of the economy in the same way that Nvidia is, in that the world is going to run on chips. It's been running on chips now. Whether you're talking about national defense, entertainment, this camera, my phone, Nvidia is going to be at the center of that. Social media is not. Now, it's important. You're watching this here on a social media platform, right? It is important, but yeah, I just didn't think it was going to be, I didn't think it was going to rebound like this, number one, but I didn't see it as essential. I think Facebook and Meta and Instagram and stuff can be replaced, whereas Nvidia probably cannot in the same way. Was a mistake, and not really. We made more than enough to kind of cover for that, but Meta was one of the winners in Q1. Next here is a company I have been talking a little bit more about, and that is Disney. If you bought Disney once we became positive on Disney, maybe at the end of December, I think is where I uploaded that video, you'd be up more than 30% right now. Disney is up 34% in Q1. They're still going through a lot of drama right now, so do read into that. Bob Iger and the board, they've been fighting. They should make a movie out of this fight here. But it's a lot of stuff going on who's going to control the company, who's going to take over the company once Bob Iger actually leaves. And when is he going to leave? We don't know. Okay, but in the meantime, Disney is still doing well. It is not where it was in 2021 when the stock was nearly $200 per share. Next here is Netflix. Netflix is up 26%. Another company that I probably should have held on to. I should have been more patient. Now, we have added Netflix back into our list, probably a year ago by now. Netflix absolutely corrected for what they did in 2022 and is one of the only media companies doing incredibly well. For some, they don't count Disney as a media company because they really are looking at the theme parks as the major driver, and that would be true. But Netflix really is media only for the most part, and they're the only one doing well. You can look at Paramount. Comcast started to fall off. We used to talk about that stock a lot. It's Netflix right now when it comes to the digital streaming and content broadcast business, if you want to call it that. Next year is Microsoft, up just 12% in a quarter, which is solid. That's a solid year for most companies. For an average company, that is a good solid year, 12% gain. They did it in just 3 months in Q1 of 2024. I think it is still the world's most valuable company. Depending on what day you're looking at it, depends on what their market cap is. But Microsoft has been my favorite company all time, and it is still there. Last winner here is Alphabet. They're up just 8%. I'm used to Alphabet doing a lot more, but again, let's not get greedy. It's just the first 3 months of the year, right? You multiply this out the rest of the year, you're doing even better. Okay, was that 24%, 32%? I think, yeah, 32%. If it were to carry, that's not, a guarantee that it will do that, but that's what we hope to see if the company continues to do well. Now, let's move on to the losers and the surprise loser here. Not a surprise loser first is Boeing. They're down 26%. What do we expect? Okay, now we did do a video around why I didn't like Boeing and why it was dangerous and why it was unpredictable. This is unpredictable. I didn't expect really the CEO to leave. I didn't expect the investigator to make sure things were going to be okay at Boeing to pass away. Okay, I didn't expect that. okay, which is why I didn't buy the company. Were there points that you could have bought when it was really low and, kind of made a bounce? Probably. But again, that's very risky, not something that's predictable and not something that's consistent, which is why I didn't buy it and why I wasn't really excited about that stock to begin with. So, right, not great for Boeing. Tesla. Now, Tesla is already down 28% in Q1. Now, I also lost some money yesterday, and for those watching, I'm recording this on April 3rd, so this must have been April 2nd, where they actually missed on cars, on revenue. So they did not produce and make enough revenue that they expected. So the stock was battered a bit more. I don't know where the company is going to go the rest of this year. Does this mean that you should absolutely sell it and just get out of Tesla completely? At this point, I don't know. Now, I do like selling the losers and moving on to companies that are doing well, so I wouldn't blame you if you were to do that. But Tesla has been a really strong company in the past. Does the past predict the future? The answer is no. Is Elon Musk even focused in the way that he should be between X and SpaceX and all the other stuff that he's doing? To be honest with you, I don't know. What I do know right now is that Tesla is the largest producer of EVs here in the U.S. He still has a stranglehold on the charger market, and I don't really see Tesla being unseated at this point in time. So if you want to hold it, I think it makes sense. I will still be holding because I have a very, very small stake in it. I'm not holding. I think I'm holding less than $3,000 worth of Tesla, so I don't have a ton, but I also bought it years and years ago. So I'm not excited. I wouldn't be buying more Tesla, I will say that. But if you held Tesla, I think that's totally fine. Now on to our surprise loser. And maybe this is a surprise for some. Apple. Apple is down 10% in the first quarter. What is going on with Apple? Why are y'all losing? This is Apple. Apple's not supposed to lose for this long, right? And I feel like Apple is kind of running into that Target situation. Not all the protests and crazy stuff that happened with Target, I was going to say the other day, last year, but all of its peers. We used to compare Apple with Nvidia, Google, Microsoft. All those companies are up. Apple is the only one of that group that is down. We used to call them the FANG stocks. It used to be Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, Google, right? Why is Apple still down? Part of it is because a lot of people say they still haven't found the next big thing. I think a good chunk of that is true. Outside of the iPhone, what have you really done for me lately? I mean, the headphones are cool. Y'all got to show me something different. And y'all keep releasing the exact same phone every year. At some point, people are going to catch on. They did do the Vision Pro thing. I wasn't a big fan of it. They were going to do an Apple Card, then they actually pulled the plug on that, which I think was a good idea. I don't think they should have gotten into the car business, but they need to figure something out. Now, I am not on the sell boat for Apple, and I could be biased here, but I think it's because of the longevity and the brand. I think they will figure something out. I will tell you this. Let Apple continue to do this, and at the end of 2024, my tone might be different. Okay, you already lost 10%. I'm not going to tolerate a 30 or 40% loss again. Okay, we already went through this in 2022. Okay, when other companies that I've already mentioned here in this video have done better, I can switch Apple for something else, and if they get their act together, then I can come and circle back around for Apple if that's going to be the case. So that is how I am currently looking at it right now. But there are a few other companies that we did not mention today that you might actually want to put on your watch list. If you want to know what those companies are and where you can buy them, you want to check out this video here.